Wow, look on the screen, everybody. In the blue suit, well, to my left is going to be Senator Hawley. And you know the guy, Anthony Fauci. Yeah, I call him Mr. C-19. Listen, I keep saying, it blows my mind when they've got the little people at the bottom scratching and fighting. And then the entire time, the ones at the top, in my opinion, they're sitting up here getting rich, sitting up here finding ways to get rich. And Fauci is allegedly one of them. What's going on? And we got a hearing here. And they're saying, guess what he did, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't heard. During the C-19, during the pandemic, guess what? He was getting rich. Yes, he was getting rich and using federal employees to do it for him through these cash awards. How many people got poor? Meaning, let's see, they were told not to go to work, okay? Lost money on that. And then the sad thing is, some of those same people told not to come back to, not to go to work. Some of their jobs just evaporated. They were never called back. Now, some people got paid, got a whole lot of checks, people with families, I get it. But who would think the one who's pushing for the C-19 wasn't about it's the right thing to do? Oh, it's about caring? No, it's about, I think your boy found a way to get rich. So let's listen to this wonderful, awesome, fantastic grilling. So now he's been pardoned, okay? Not going to go to jail. He should be, I think. He's been pardoned. And I think if I look at all the little people, not saying it's hard to commit crimes, but, they stole some food or theft, not saying it's right. At the whole time, the ones at the top, they've got this thing lit where they can commit crimes and get away with it. Without any further ado, listen to the grilling here. And guess what? Fauci does a big ouchie. He pleads the fifth. Here we go. Check it out.
Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich. While people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline
and
to
answer I believe these when he's
under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
The people that he's mentioning, I believe these are people that actually worked for Fauci.
Chief of Staff is the answer. Do you remember Patricia Conrad? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
She was your personal assistant. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic in November of 2020 when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID? What were they doing? I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here.
Did you hear that? Using the staff. These are federal employees now. And we're paying their salaries, by the way. federal employees. So he's getting paid. And then on top of that, found a way, clearly, say allegedly, found a way with the C-19 to get cash awards. So you getting paid twice. And the federal employees, tax dollar money, you using our tax dollars to enrich you more so. I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen up. Hold on.
When millions of Americans were suffering from COVID, what were they doing? I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here, right over my shoulder. Volker says, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award for Fauci. We need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award.
Wow.
$900,000 cash award. And he got it because he used federal employees to get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees. And
he belongs in jail. But hey, he got a pardon under Biden. Wow. And these hearings just came about. So it sounds like theft. You're using the federal employees to enrich yourself? They're on a payroll. How are federal employees paid by the tax dollars? This to me is just major theft. But guess what? There are rules for us and rules for them. Go steal some food right now, $200. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not justifying someone stealing. Oh, that person should have known to go up in there stiff. Oh, well, they shouldn't be breaking the law. People have no idea. The ones at the top, they're breaking the law all kind of ways. And guess what? They get away with it. That's just one $900,000 award. And you see what it says. Clearly, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award. Need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we respond to many ways of COVID? So the nation, the world, they're looking at him, to provide the leadership, and he's getting paid. It wasn't enough, was it? One award, $900,000. This right here seems to be, it should be, let it be anybody else. A conspiracy to defraud the government, fraud, theft of government services. Anybody else would be sitting up here facing Fed time.
Get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr.
Let me go back.
Based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award.
Wow.
$900,000 cash award. And he got it because he used federal employees to get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder. Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service. You've got the Adelson Prize. You've got the Smithsonian Award. You've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award. You've got the CDC Foundation. In fact, you turned your staff into a full-time application machine. You actually wrote to people and said, do you think maybe I qualify? And you got cash for all of this. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
So basically using the federal employees as a cash register. Cha-ching! It sounds like I need y'all to work for me. Work for me and get me some money. And look, here's the joke of it all. That's why it blows my mind when I see people worried about, little people worried about somebody working. Oh my goodness. People on food stamps, on a housing voucher. Man, listen, the main criminal is that fool of these individuals sitting up here in these high places, the politicians, and you got these little folks, they got you scrounging around, fighting each other while they sit there robbing you blind. So basically, he's using American federal taxpayers, using their time while they should be working. He got them working for him like on his separate payroll. But they can do this. Why couldn't he just basically go ahead and get people, assimilate his own team and get somebody and pay those people? No, they know what they can do. To me, it sounds like greed. He clearly, based on what they're saying, use the federal workers to do the dirty work, and the dirty work is to enrich himself. He could have got his own team together. You got the money, you can afford to get your own team together and have them to get together on the side and get those awards for you. But this is what they do. This is what they do. A lot of them. Unbelievable. So we're sitting up here, besides I'm already getting paid Dr. Fauci over regarding the C-19. Now you're sitting up here, got the federal workers. Hey, whatever you guys are doing, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do this instead, so I can enrich my pockets. Wow, unbelievable.
For all of this. And it wasn't just one or two employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time, using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Here they are right over my shoulder. Here's all of them. The people that you use, federal employees, so that you could go and get cash money. And the most hilarious part is that you weren't content to even dragoon them into applying for all of these cash awards. You then had them go out to the ethics agencies and ethics watchdogs and demand that you be able to get the money. That's right. We've got it in your emails. Your staff and employees on federal time, using federal resources, being paid with federal dollars, are soliciting cash for you. And then they're turning around and saying to the agency, we don't want just an answer. We want to get to yes, because Fauci wants the money.
Wow.
He wants it. We want to get to yes, and yes takes time. This is your chief of staff again, using federal email to pressure the agency's own ethics people so that you could get money, so that you could get rich. And it violated the law, didn't it, Dr. Fauci? Didn't it? It violated the law, didn't it? It is a question. You can answer. Go ahead.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Federal law, as you very well know, prohibits the solicitation of cash awards or other personal benefits for federal employees. And it certainly prohibits using your own employees to do this.
But hold on. What about let's just be fair. Again, not excusing it. All those people that committed that PPP fraud got locked up, but not Fauci. Federal law that what?
It is a question. You can answer. Go ahead.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Federal law, as you very well know, prohibits the solicitation of cash awards or other personal benefits for federal employees. And it certainly prohibits using your own employees to do this.
However, he has already done it. He's not going to listen. This really, to me, it's the dog and pony show. Nothing's gonna. They're calling him out. He'll walk away. This will die down, and guess what? Nothing's gonna happen.
I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Federal law, as you very well know, prohibits the solicitation of cash awards or other personal benefits for federal employees.
But yet he's already clearly done it. Wait a minute, not just done it, got the money. Oh, the jokes write themselves. So much for this great justice system. Already done it. You think you're going to see him in a jumpsuit? Again, all those people, again, not saying that they're right, they're wrong, that are being arrested, going to jail, prison over the PPP. But what about Dr. Fauci? How many of them got, and again, just one award, $900,000. There were 8 different awards. If they're going to prosecute people for the PPP loans, guess what? They should prosecute him as well.
It is a question. You can answer. Go ahead.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Federal law, as you very well know, prohibits the solicitation of cash awards or other personal benefits for federal employees.
And yet and still, I'm sure he knew it, did it, it's done, got the money. And this will be a good dog and pony show, I think. And then we're just gonna move on. What about the people doing welfare fraud, doing PPP fraud? They know how to go after them. Which, hey, they took the chance, they did that, desperation. But see, when you're at this level, at the top, somebody gonna have your back. It wouldn't surprise me when he got that pardon on the Biden. It wouldn't surprise me that somebody probably already knew. And then later on, this comes out. They probably already knew about it. Oh, we got that pardon. And now later, okay, now it's time for the hearings. There's a law for them and a law for us. What do you think about this? I mean, using the taxpayer, using felon employee, just break again. It's ridiculous. Where's the justice? So they got the hearings going on because he used the C-19 to get rich. It's never enough money. Find a way to make some money. Let me find a way. So wow, well played, well played. American justice today. He belongs in jail, but he's not going to go. So that's why I say it's a dog and pony show. Listen, gotta go. Let me know what you all think about this. I'm surprised, but they're not. But it just goes to show you how things operate in this country. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to come of it. And guess what? It's probably somebody else doing the very same thing. Seeking cash awards. Not just Sodom got people working, government workers doing the dirty work for them, and look, and we're paying them. We're paying them. Look how many people lost their jobs because they wouldn't take the vaccine. Look how many people fired. You don't take it, fired. The ones at they got the top spot. They can do wrong and get away with it. So I'm just saying, if you're going to go after the PPP people, which they clearly are, guess what? They should go after him. But no. It just shows you there are rules for regular people and there are rules for the ones at the top that are connected. The rules do not apply. So after this dog and pony show, he's going to say bye-bye and go enjoy his money. Let me know what y'all think about this. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I am so out. Wow, this guy.